Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zainal Arif bin Zainal Izzuddin and I'm from BIA 6E. So today, I would like to present about our assignment for financing reporting. So, before we start, I would like to introduce my group members, which is me, Zainal Arif, Marsha Afika, Faris Irfan, Fadlin Sankina, and Zamiro. So today, I would like to give an introduction about MFRS 116 and MFRS 138. For MFRS 116, it is about PPE, or known as Property, Plant and Equipment. As we know, PPE is a physically existing items that can be physically touched and it are held for use in the production or supply goods and services. Next, PPE also are intangible items that expected to be used more than one period and used for administrative purpose. Next, the standard shall be applied in PPE except first, PPE that classify as held for sale, second, biological asset related to agricultural activities, third, recognition and measurement of exploration, and last but not least is evaluation asset and mineral right and reserve. Next is MFRS 138, which is Intangible Asset. Objective of this standard is prescribe the accounting treatment for intangible assets that are not dealt with specifically in another standard, and its measure the carrying amount of intangible asset. This standard shall be applied in intangible asset except first, financial asset, second, recognition and measurement of exploration, third, intangible asset that within the scope of another standard, and last but not least is expenditure on development.
Hi, my name is Fadlin Sakina. So I would like to present about MFRS 138 that have been applied in MW Malaysia Holding Berhad's Annual Report 2021. Okay, under the terms of recognition, MW Malaysia Holdings Berhad has recognized goodwill, computer software, and development costs as their intangible assets of the company. These have been presented under Notes to Financial Statement in Notes 15, Intangible Asset. Also, the group has recognized net carrying value of RM20,167,000 on its intangible asset during the financial year. Okay. As we can see on the bottom right side, note to the financial statement, there is 20.167 figure that shows the group has recognized net carrying value of its intangible asset. Under the measurement terms, MW Malaysia Holdings Berhad have been applied cost model measurement methods. This can be seen on the right side, where the group measured its intangible asset with cost value and minus with the accumulated amortization value. So there will be net carrying amount on the bottom of the statement. MWA Malaysia Holdings Berhad has disclosed intangible assets under MFRS 138 in financial statements under Note 15. As we can see here, there's 20.167 figure on the statement of financial position that shows that company disclosed their intangible assets. Okay, so we are moving to the next company where my group choose Sam Darby Plantation Berhad's annual report. Under the recognition terms, Sam Darby Plantation Berhad has recognized their intangible asset as goodwill, asset usage right, intellectual property right, smallholder relationship, customer relationship, computer software, agriculture development costs, work in progress capitalized, or in terms of agriculture development costs, and acquired brand names or trademarks. Okay, this can be seen in notes 23, intangible assets. in notes to the financial statements of the annual report. The group has recognized net book value of 2,818,545,000 ringgit on its intangible assets during the financial year. This can be same as the picture show behind, where I have extracted it. Under the measurement term, Sundarbi Plantation Berhad have applied revaluation model measurement method, where fair value at the revaluation date minus subsequent accumulated amortization and any subsequent accumulated impairment loss. This can be shown in the right picture, where the company measured its intangible asset on the 1st January 2021 at the revaluation date and calculate the net book value at the 31st December 2020. Samdarbi Plantation Berhad disclose their intangible assets under MFRS 138 in the financial statements under Note 23. So, as we can see on the right picture, the group has disclosed their intangible assets in Notes 23 of RM 2,880,545,000 ringgit.
My name is Marsha Afika Binti Fazli and I'm from DIA6E. So today I will present about the example for MFRS 116 Amway Malaysia Holding Berhad. So next we will go to the disclosure for MFRS 116 that in Amway Malaysia Holdings Berhad that has been disclosed in PPE, which is under MFRS 116. In the notes, financial statement has stated that the company had disclosed long-term household, building improvement, lease fixtures and improvement, furniture fittings and equipment, and motor vehicle. Also, Amway Malaysia Holdings Berhad had recognized the property, plant and equipment because there is future economic benefit. Last but not least, for MFRS 116 for Amway Malaysian Holdings Berhad, they're measured based on cost. Next, moving on to Sundarbi Plantation Berhad, they also has disclosed property, plant and equipment under MFRS 116. So, in the notes to financial statement, the company has disclosed buildings, bearer plants and machinery, vehicle equipment and fixtures. Same as Amway Malaysia Holding Berhad, Sundarbi Plantation Berhad recognized this MFRS 116 because there is future economic benefit in the company. Last but not least, for the measurement of the company, for the MFRS 116, Sundarbi Plantation Berhad stated that they measure on cost.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Faris Ifan bin Azlan and my ID is PDA 2007096. So today I am going to give an explanation about the MFRS versus MPERS. So basically today I am going to explain about the MFRS 116 versus section 17 of MPERS, and also I'm going to explain about the MFRS 138 versus section 18 of MPERS. So let's check it out. So I am going to explain about the MFRS 116 versus section 17 of MPERS. So firstly, we could see about the recognition. So what it says about the recognition, it says that asset on an entity have to be recognized at cost, and first one, its purchase price must be included with the import duties, and the second one is the transportation cost must be included, and thirdly, the liability that an entity incurs either when the item is accrued or as a result of having utilized the item for purpose of other than the producing inventories during that period, the expenses of dismantling and removing the item and restoring the site. So for the section 17 of MPERS, it says that an entity must recognize the cost of an item of property, plant and equipment as an asset if it is probable that future economic benefit associated with the item will flow to the entity. And the second one is the item cost can be accurately estimated. For the next one, which we can see the disclosure, and first one is about the MFRS 116, which an entity must disclose 4 things, which is first one is measurement based use, depreciation method use, useful life or depreciation rate, and the last one is the gross carrying amount and accumulated depreciation. But for section 17 of AMPERS, it says that a private entity must disclose: first one is the present and carrying amount of PPE that the entity owns or that is pledged as a security for liabilities. The second one is the amount of contractual commitment for PPE. And the last one is if an entity owns investment property whose fair value cannot be reliably determined with excessive expense or effort, it must report that fact as well as the reason why fair value assessment for those terms of investment property would involve undue cost or effort. So for lastly, which is the measurement, the MFRS 116 has 2 measurement, which is first one is the cost model and the second one is revaluation model. So for the cost model, it says that the cost of PPE must be deducted from the carrying amount as well as any accumulated depreciation and impairment losses. When the revaluation model says that the revaluation model should be used to measure the carrying amount of PPE and whose fair value can be measured reliably. And for the section 70 of AMPERS, the measurement being used is the cost model. So let's go to the next MFRS. So for the second MFRS, which is MFRS 138 versus section 18 of AMPERS, the first one, the recognition says about the MFRS 138 is to be recognized as an intangible asset. An entity must show that the term fits the following criteria, which is the 2 terms, which is the first one is the definition of an intangible asset and the second one is the recognition criteria. So for section 18 of AMPERS, the recognition says that an entity should apply the recognition of an intangible asset if it comes with 3 methods, which is the estimated future economic gains linked to the asset are most likely to flow to the entity, and the second one is the asset cost or value can be accurately calculated, and also the last one is the asset is not the consequence of internal expenditure of an intangible asset. So we moving on to the disclosure. Firstly, if for the MFRS 138, it says that entity should disclose the aggregate amount of research and development expenditure recognized as an expenses during the period. But for the AMPERS, section 18 of AMPERS, it says that entity must disclose 3 things, which is useful life, the amortization rate and amortization method being used, and also the gross carrying amount and any accumulated amortization. So let's see to the useful life. For the MFRS 116, it has 2 useful life, which is finite life and also indefinite life. So the length of that useful life as well as the number of production or comparable units that make up that useful life, an intangible asset is considered to have an indefinite useful life by the entity when there is no foreseeable limit to the duration over which the asset is expected to provide net cash inflow for the company based on an appraisal of a relevant circumstance. So for the section 18 of AMPERS, it says that all intangible assets are deemed to have a finite useful life for the purpose of this standard. So basically all intangible asset of the section 18 of AMPERS is basically a finite useful life. So that is all from me. Thank you.